People around anymore. Looks like that boat we took...
Vacher!
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? That's...
Vacher?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kind of... Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vacher! Are you... my dear Vacher? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know I'm... Wait. Who am... My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear? Yes, that is what I was once. I do not know how I came to be. I also remember no matter where I went, but now... we can no longer go... No! Our reunion no longer has any meaning. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath... If you meet Vacher, perhaps that is so. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? Dissolving. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy. With only... I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first... I think I hear your companion. Farewell then. I am glad that...
Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge...
Mr. Callas's last wish was for me...
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of...
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that...
I doubt I know much more than you. Your performance tonight...
And...
None of these mech... I can only...
What?
Yes.
I will continue it. Regardless. Right. I suppose that's the best news.
Demoiselle, I believe that...
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for those Gardamex came out of nowhere oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorinde who came out to...
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. As such, we're still part...
It will take 50 years for me to match Dim...
If it were me, I...
All right.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest, you're the one who...
Huh? Really?
Yes. All thanks to you.
How?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes...
So the Fanta...
Yes.
Spina di Rosula.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Bord. That's when I figured out that you might be...
What?
Well, you did... Speaking of which...
Well, it can't be... Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too. Does that mean...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad...
New intel? Why...
Well, let's... Oh. Vacher. That name, since he saw, but he never gave testimony. Yes, thank you. Oh, you mean...
Well, you did, and besides, we're in this...
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite...
You talk too much. Well, and we also have some plans to go...
Don't worry, you two.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't...
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone's...
Very good.
I shall find rooms for...
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue traveling.
This is your base?
Your accommodations have been arranged.
After all, we don't allow it...
Seems like it's tough times for
to be...
your father.
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from... My father's name is Callas. Yes, 3 years ago.
Oh no.
But I do not believe that at the time, but strangely, that even after being seriously... 3 years, how could he protect his honor? If the closest piece of info I have is that my father...
So...
That's right. However, I must know what really happened. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that... And now, here I am investigating his death.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do,
I also will never believe that Master Callas murdered anyone. Master Callas did so much good even our supporters decreased greatly due to that.
Wait, if Callas was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. People love watching the evil turn over.
But Alfred... never mind.
There is one other thing.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as... Yeah, that's not the sort of...
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis. She knew Master Callas beforehand and greatly respected. There was only ever...
It's not that I don't
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that... yes, that is our understanding.
Oh, Papa. All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did... thanks.
Yeah.
please, relax and get some sleep.
Slept so well, huh? Navia? Where?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina di Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's...
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back, but never mind.
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some...
Wait, so...
How could I after having such critical new...
guess Paimon...
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been what I suspect that those behind this have already taken...
Does that...
No. There is one, and that is the archives kept by Chief... If the Ocean...
So Nervalet, in that case, let's go...
No. The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with a This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or...
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy.
No. What I meant to say is...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up.
Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Please, come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only like to get in because...
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not...
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
Ah, I see.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case. There are no records of him either in the files or in my...
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callas, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. After my father took it, you even told me then that in your eyes, the value of a human life, if you truly regret my father's death, why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Everything was there are still, if you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. It's not so much that you can't feel. Oh well. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you...
I'm fine.
You're right. Wasn't it...
Now that I think of it...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered in the rain. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that. But didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true... Yeah!
I really think I... All right.
Yeah! We're gonna...
Do you want to go with me now? All right. There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula. My father was the one who... A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you... Paimon was confused with... But now that Paimon has seen this ship for her...
Well, Poisson is... We're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most You said before that you still had some business.
But you still remember...
Yes, the case was quite simple.
Could you tell us...
Yeah, of course. many years at a glance.
Wait!
Yes, if you drink, and if you were to, as he oversaw...
Boss is uncompromising. Not only that...
Yes, recognizing the man's name with that night, but then...
Huh?
Sounds just like looking back on it, though. Precisely. But, considering it now... You're right.
Jacques was an empath. I think this third... On that note, however... Our opponent... Even though there is no...
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callas the Unfaithful is... Did he think I've never accepted that. I want to find out the...
Navia.
This is indeed the best...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. But what drove all...
What?
And the serial disappeared. 5 years was knowing all of this. But as long as... If something were to happen...
Right. So...
As we've seen, bosses...
No. I don't believe it. He never appeared to...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard. Especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the
So he chose to...
I'm afraid you're not understanding this. If Boss's spirit... I'm sure he'd be...
No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I... Yeah. I suppose that's true, but thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. And then... Malus, what was the key evidence that he...
It's the location when he was... But if you want...
Why? If...
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against... There's no telling what... But a single... The worst case...
Then...
Well, you saw...
That's but things...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought in...
I am the but. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me... When I announced order, if the vendor, after several rounds, the first is...
Huh?
Yes, surprising is thanks to his position within... There's someone else like him, too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. In the beginning, there were only...
So... They're like a...
Yes, you can... It's a bit difficult.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between... Although the guards most... Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activity...
I see. To think that the enemy we've been
If you want to investigate them, please...
Of course.
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques, if it might help, you could...
Aw, thank you.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to...
It is settled, then. Please
Thank you for arranging everything for us,
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your...
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a... I know only the full truth could bring...
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could... He had many regrets, and felt so when Mr. Callas came to him with a... He tried to be as careful as he could.
They found out About his...
Papa didn't say that exactly.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I don't know that for sure. But you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callas had always taken great care of us, but even if he fired the shot...
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man.
Yeah, Papa was a really good man.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is...
You really think so? That's the first...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House?
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. And we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, can you do me a favor and try to recall what...
Let me think. After that, my first reaction was but when I got there...
So you also...
Indeed. Reason being, but according to about the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. The gun he was holding? Probably...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But hold on. He didn't even want it. Did he lose all faith?
About that, I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just... Many people have... But it was Mr. Callas's trust that no matter what others might...
Don't worry. You and all our other Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself.
Oh, so you've got new...
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that?
I mean, where I work, Callas did a fantastic job running. It would be next to impossible for me. Anyway.
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my...
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case...
That'd be much appreciated.
Of course. Without... Why do you ask? We definitely can't.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered... So, if you, hypothetically...
Then you... If I had to make an analogy... When you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to make removing a serial number is all... So I can promise you, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the...
How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Sure, I will...
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about...
Yes, I've...
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with I also witnessed your marvel to beat the Hydro Archon.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Uncle Marcel, you've...
Yes, I was reminded of your father's...
Exactly.
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me... If not for the vigilance of my partner,
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will... If anyone dares to lay their hands on...
Thank you, Uncle Mars. Do you have any new thoughts on my...
About that. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet. Then I heard the sound of a gun...
Oh, it's okay.
Sounds good. Just all my wealth comes from callas...
We've talked to all three
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still
But where should we start? Ah, you from...
According to Jacuqes' family...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques...
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective? Makes sense. Besides Jacques, it's obvious that
Do you think he...
Given everything that... But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie? Still really... Also, wouldn't this mean he has been... Thierry, you say? But... I didn't feel like he was lying.
Yeah. And if the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find...
Florent? But... Spina...
So you're saying he...
Exactly. Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed...
Could we be missing other suspects?
The suspect is knowledgeable... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and spec...
Yes. We need far...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the...
Yeah. News came from Araneus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our...
That's what I thought was if the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they...
Yeah, and it'll be...
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus. Leaving his home, you're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you.
We'll help you, just like you helped us.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver, when did you...
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson, and it's our hope that your
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malou's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. Ah, you're right. Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This is...
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him! You've got the wrong man! Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default. Correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person is... Something's not... Something's... Marcel! The head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this...
Yes.
In that case, members of the guards. Mr. Marcel, you...
Apologies. I think an attorney...
Very well.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. Only through elucidating what...
Navia, do you really... Come on. If that's enough to make me...
I think there's no point in getting into...
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard two... When the guests arrived at the scene, the guards' investigation did not recover... The suspect did not dispute this conclusion. Callas was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in... These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques. Not, in truth, the third after that, the truth... Thank you. However, we... The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques... However, unfortunately... This assassin, for... A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all... Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callas was responsible for Jacques.
That's what happened. Wait, you're telling me
What a great theory!
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guard...
That makes sense to me. Monsieur...
Why do I feel...
Maybe she's scared of...
Alternatively...
My second question has to do with the Then why didn't Mr. Callas explain himself in court? If he had...
I thought about this too. The dissolving power. My father could have exposed it at that time. What was certain...
Boss once told me...
What? If the secret had gotten... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter. But what good would that do? How can a hollow... Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue that I was able to become Spina di Rosula. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will...
So, you...
That's right.
Do you have any...
Of course. All you need... I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callas was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people. Just one look and I can tell. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callas never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of time. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacuqes and Callas. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely, coincidentally.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received callas, but the disappearances began...
I do apologize, demoiselle.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friend. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable?
Seems like she got the... At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb, but aren't you going against all of... He wished for you to become... Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me. And it never has. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has long been taken, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, many people's images, and whose image is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that. Let's dance.
Lament! Worthless! Here!
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising! Now we can swim to the top! But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Drop! To ashes!
I'll protect us.
Useless!
Now the path is clear! Let's go! Let's dance. Come on, we can do it.
Disappear! Worthless! Worthless! Here! Worthless! Here! Boring! Here!
Oh no! Don't worry about it. Go, Barbara, go!
Haven't won yet!
Starfall! Let's dance.
Boring!
Though, as expected, the mastermind... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... What? Huh? You mean the girls from the cereal and then they were turned into... And all the boxes of things. These names. Let's see what's written here. Nothing. Callas. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be Yep, this should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the old dog's a real... He can act whenever... I concur. Let's send some... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth! And that special water is the main ingredient! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the Paimon will take notes on the... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the water. Mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place. Experiment numbers. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's... How could someone write something that terrible in such a... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So, that way... Did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. Ah, you mean Vacher is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vacher was no victim. But personally, no, that's not it either. If that... In any case... We've looked at almost everything... Yeah! We haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find it that way, even if we bring all this back to the opera. Sure thing. Paimon wanted... lover's name? Then you... Aw. It's just a no... So many! The final name... Marcel... Wait, but... Marcel's pretty old. Hey!
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh. I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the...
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence. But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vacher, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vacher's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vacher is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together, wherever she goes. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callas still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by—
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vacher. I promise. Vacher, please, Vacher. Don't think badly of me.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling—
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vacher. During an underwater expedition, Vacher accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of— To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callas at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able— And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over.
We really just witnessed history.
We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for is final.
Yeah. It's final. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing—
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse—
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearance. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed... What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on? Shouldn't
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either? But that's impossible. Didn't she create—
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this—
My dearest citizen, don't tell me. You thought Eve—
But the way she looked just now—
However, given the state of the end, if you thought child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and all shall be revealed. Now, having said that, although—
So she chose to—
So you're saying we—
She probably just put on that. However, please be assured that I will
All right. After all—
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll—
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did the Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see...
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think she...
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just... Very well.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah.
Vacher.
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you're...
Vacher, it's me! It's...
Vacher?
I'm here! Where are you, Vacher? I'm coming for...
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vacher, is that you? It's me!
Vacher, why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older.
It's been more than 20 all this time. I must be dreaming. Vacher, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live...
But Vacher, if you ask me... If not for you, it's all because... You're right. I am not every woman who died by your hand. As our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back, our thoughts circulated endlessly with... I'm Cressy, the only one...
Why?
She doesn't want to... This is what you get, but did you ever consider whether... You are a liar. The only thing you... From the moment...
No! Yeah!
You still don't But on top of that, she said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you. Vacher. Vacher? Vacher. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been...
Well met, partner. I knew...
Even this weather can't put a
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey,
Oh. It's just everyone from Spina di Rosula this time, though.
It's been the dearest
Oh, by the way, what?
Huh?
Yeah, wait, I believe the story. To be fair, though, she was trying to lead.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I told her to. Oh, and it.
Oh, are you
well, it was thanks to her, though.
Oh, that's...
Anyway, no, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit, and on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want a good
Sure thing.
And in that case...
Yeah.
Huh? There's someone there already. Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh?
My apologies. I should have...
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but...
In that case...
In any case...
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could... Oh, rather than that, which is also why I didn't... I believed that it... But Mr. Callas proved me, if not for his Mr. Callas made the... And in the end, a justice that's... So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say this regret has filled that high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for...
So, you're
Sorry about that.
So now, let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never... Huh? Oh, no. Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
We ran into...
I see. Then is...
Well, it's pretty hard to...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine. Your sibling, if he ever stepped foot in Fontaine. Is there anything else?
So...
Truthfully, that there used to be a special... Most of Tevat's life forms were... But today, the primordial... What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of... Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to To be frank, is there anything else? That the sea level... Does that appropriate...
That's right!
Yes, up to the... Rumors have it that...
A prophecy?
2 parts of the prophecy have all... Speaking of the if the rumors were true...
But... With...
Is there anything... My apologies. However, I still believe that... For many years, I have been... As a divine... Not only can it... Which is all to say... I was not a... In any case, based on... While we do intend... If we did...
If you ask Pine...
Is there... Very well. It will soon be time for me to leave this...
You really...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off. And...
Alright, huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. You know, we've been walking around for a while now. Why don't we go back to the Spina di Rosula base in the court of Fontaine and have a rest? Navia said something about having a place ready for us there, didn't she? Come on, let's go!